What's up, everyone? This is Isaac with Hunger Smash Fitness, just coming to you today. So my buddy John sent me this video of him doing sandbag to shoulder, and he was just asking for some help with it to see if I had any pointers or anything that could just help get it to the shoulder, essentially. So I was going to discuss how he goes about and does it, and then I had a video of how I like to try and do it, as well as some different movements that I like to try and add that I think are very beneficial. So first of all, let's look at this. So he approaches the sandbag. I like starting off. If you haven't watched some of my other videos, there's two primary ways that you can lift a sandbag. You can do it from the ends like this or from the middle. If you're trying to get it to the shoulder, it depends on the size of the bag. With the really long ones, it's easier to lap if you do it from the ends. If you have short arms and that doesn't work, you'll have to go from the middle. You'll just have to figure that out. If it's a longer bag though, and you try and grab it from the middle like this, it likes to bend. It likes to curve over, and that can make it really awkward. And in the video that I did of me doing it, I did it without any warm up or anything like that. But you can see that I have a slightly longer bag, and as soon as I lap it, it folds over a bit, and that can be really awkward, especially when you're getting to these 300-pound bags or whatever. So this technique is fine. His hand placement, as long as it's towards the middle of the bag, is completely fine for this movement. With this here, I would have him bring his feet in. So I would say bring the feet closer together. You want them essentially touching on either side of the bag, and ideally keep the arms straight. Don't curl the bag up. You're asking for a biceps tear when you do that. Lock the arms out, similar to a deadlift. You're deadlifting it into your lap. It's a similar mindset. So I would bring the feet closer together to start out, and then as soon as you're bringing it up here, okay, he does bring the knees in, but then he loses control of the bag, and he gets it when he gets it on his lap here. So you want to control the bag into your lap. As soon as you get it above the knees, that's when the arms bend, drive the elbows back, and you're tucking it into your lap securely. Okay? If he was starting out doing it from the ends, I think lapping it in this position is fine, and then getting it upright once it's in your lap is the perfectly fine way to go. Since he started from the middle, dropping it in your lap long ways and then trying to get it upright again to get onto your shoulder wastes a lot of energy. So in this case, I would say, since he started in the middle, stay in the middle, lap it, lean it back against you. So as he brings it up here, so then he gets it into standing, and he's kind of stuck. So from this position, not a lot of people will have the strength to manhandle, especially when I think he's doing a 200-pound bag. So especially when you're doing something that is your body weight, or is above your body weight, or close to your body weight, that's hard to manhandle it onto your shoulder like that, to just force it onto your shoulder. It's much easier to do it from the seated position, start it onto the shoulder, and then use the momentum to get it up onto your shoulder. So it's not a terrible technique, just a lot of wasted energy and wasted use of body mechanics, essentially. Because you can see once he gets to this point, he's kind of stuck. So we're going to take a look. I think it was this one here. Let's flip it so it's the correct angle. Okay, so as you can see, so my feet are essentially touching the bag, and I did this without any warm-up or anything like this. He sent me the video, so I just threw the bag on my shoulder real quick. I probably should have warmed up a little bit. My bag is a 300-pound bag, so it's at the upper end of what most people can comfortably do. But you can see, so my feet are touching the bag on either side. As I'm bringing it up, they're a little bit behind the middle there. Grabbing it in the middle, arms are essentially straight. And then you can see here, so my elbows start bending, and I'm pulling it back into my lap right there. It's a longer bag, and so it's folding forward. So I have to grab it and pull it back into my shoulder here. And then my preferred technique is once I have it in my lap, once I have it there, I have one arm around to keep it from falling out, and then the other arm is scooping, depending on which shoulder you're going to. If you have a preferred arm that is easier to do that with, go to that shoulder. It doesn't necessarily matter in this regard. So I'm going to use, oh, it skipped there, man. So I'm going to use the speed of me standing up to use that momentum. I'm using that momentum to shift it up. So similar to if you're doing a power clean or a snatch or anything like that, you're using that initial force, you're using that initial exertion of getting it moving and then keeping it moving and then adjusting your body around a little bit to essentially catch it on your shoulder. My video here keeps skipping, so it's hard to actually see where I'm doing that. But yeah, so I'm hoisting onto my shoulder right there, and then you let go with the other hand and drop it. All right, so simple enough. Sorry that the video is kind of skipping here. I'm not completely sure why it's doing that, but that's the essentials of it. Bringing your feet in closer, lap it with as straight of arms as possible, get it into your lap, catch it, and essentially deadlift it into your lap. And then from there, use the scoop underhand with the other hand locking it against your chest. And as you go up, bring it up. So it's going to require more thoracic extension, more shoulder mobility, using that force to bring it up. So you do want to be strong in this position here. So one of the drills that I thought just off the top of my head that I thought he could really benefit from is this right here. So essentially, I'm putting I start with my bag on a higher stand. You can start with it on the floor and lap it. It's going to take a little bit more energy to lap it each time, especially if you're doing multiple sets of this. And the primary focus is getting it up, getting that bag up as high as possible. So, all right. So I'm grabbing it lengthways right here because I'm mostly focusing upper back, posterior shoulder. So starting in a deep squat, hands around the bag, pulling it tight to your chest. Everything back here should be super tight. You should feel it squeezing as hard as you can, trying to pull that bag back to your chest. And then you're essentially standing up with an extension. And just getting it up and back down. And the video's a little bit, it's skipping a bit. But you're just rolling it up and back down. And you're trying to get that range of motion here. So hopefully that helps. Hopefully that makes sense. Yeah, a little bit out of breath, a little bit tired. Overall, John, great effort. I think it's a great effort. I think you're very close to getting it. I don't think, I think he said it was a 200-pound bag. I don't think that's an impossible bag or anything like that. I think it's very, very much within your range. Just finesse your technique a little bit. And especially, see right here, I think is really where it starts to kind of fall apart. But try adding some of those. If you guys are trying to work on doing sandbag to shoulder or something like that, hit me up, let me know. If you're working, I'm not a professional with stones or sandbags or any of that sort of stuff, but I do love playing with them. So if you have questions about any of it, definitely reach out, let me know. I'd love to work with you. Send me a video and maybe I can do more stuff like this. I can also work with your squat, deadlift, all that sort of stuff. I have years of experience in the gym. I've also worked with some personal training, done some strength coaching for different stuff, as well as competing in strongman and working with strongman athletes. And now I'm studying physical therapy. So I have a decent understanding of body mechanics, force production, and how the body should move under load, as well as being semi-strong myself. So anyways, that is all for today. Hopefully this helps. Let me know if it doesn't answer any questions, and definitely reach out. And as always, I will see you next time with the next video that I post. Bye.